Good morning, Fit Church. I am so excited to be talking to you. It is Monday. We are focused on our new week of this health journey and of life in general. So, getting this week started off right is one of the most important things. And obviously, community is a part of that. Now, I know I harp on this all the time, but I just find it over and over and over in the Bible. And so today we're going to be spending some time in the book of Exodus. It is Exodus chapter 17, and we'll be reading from verses 8 through 13 in the Message version of the Bible. So it says this: Amalek came and fought Israel at Rephidim. Moses ordered Joshua, "Select some men for us and go out and fight Amalek. Tomorrow I will take my stand on top of the hill holding God's staff." Joshua did what Moses ordered in order to fight Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur, H-U-R, Hur, went to the top of the hill. It turned out that whenever Moses raised his hands, Israel was winning, but whenever he lowered his hands, Amalek was winning. Moses' hands got tired, so they got a stone and set it under him. He sat on it, and Aaron and Hur held up his hands, one on each side, so his hands remained steady until the sun went down. Joshua defeated Amalek and its army in battle. Now, the reason I love this, when we look at the exodus of God's people from Egypt, when we look at this journey that the Israelites take out of slavery, out of destitution, into a promised land and a promised future, we see them go through many trials, and it is in many of these trials that we see this necessity for them to do a couple of things. One is to not quarrel amongst one another, to not be in conflict with their own people. Two is for them, there was this acknowledgement that there was this constant conflict that they were going to be in, whether it was whether it was Amalek, or if it was going to be the Canaanites later, or other peoples that they would be in conflict with. That conflict was going to be a normal part of their life. And one of the things that I love is that there's this recognition that in those recurring conflicts, going alone wasn't an option. Moses looked at Joshua and said, "Grab people." Joshua goes and fights with the people that he grabbed. Or Joshua grabs the people and then goes and fights Amalek with those people. Moses, as a part of that conflict, does what he needs to do, which is a spiritual act that is almost a representation of God. Moses doesn't go to the top of the hill alone. He takes people with him, close people. I think it's really important for us in this journey to recognize that we've got to be bringing people with us. Like we need each other. We need to not be on this in this process where we're trying to go it alone, trying to make it happen, trying to just force it with our own will. Because I don't know about you, I'm as stubborn as a goat, but that's not necessarily served me in my journey yet, and it won't ever. My stubbornness is an asset that I can utilize at different points in my life, but this idea that it's this never-ending power source and that somehow it's the thing that I've needed to just rely on completely, that's a falsehood. That's a total lie. What I need is I need people. What I need is I need to be in this constant communicative relationship with others where I'm accountable and I'm encouraged and I'm encouraging. That there's this give and take. That's what's necessary. That's part of what I'm trying to do on Wednesdays when I weigh in and I post it publicly. What's the difference between last week and this week? It's not comfortable, it's not fun, it's not enjoyable, but it is necessary and it is important in this process. So, who are you bringing with you in this process? What is that looking like? How are we being purposeful in including others and making those important aspects of our everyday choices? And what role can Fit Church play in your journey? You know, I had a coaching call this last Saturday. By the way, if you want to schedule coaching calls, please, in the email that you received this morning, there's a button that, schedule a coaching call. If those times don't work for you, reach out to me through an email, reach out to me through Facebook, reach out to me through a text, reach out to my dad through any of those options as well. Like, set it up. Let's set up a time to talk. Let's set up, if those times don't work, just tell us. We'll set aside other time. We've set those times aside where we know we can be available and that, we do our absolute best to keep those slots open at all costs. But we want to be with you guys and we want to support you guys. I had a coaching call this last weekend where someone just said, hey, I need to step up my accountability. What does that look like? How can that work with you? We set it up where it's an individual aspect to that individual's journey, and that's perfect. I just want you to know we're here for this. This is what we do. So, community, what does it look like to you? Today I want you to head over to the Facebook group and let's talk about how are you embracing community, or how are you utilizing community in your journey? Are you being accountable with others? Are you communicating the strengths and weaknesses of what you're experiencing in your journey with others? And if not, when are you going to change and embrace others as a part of your journey? Head over to Facebook. Let's talk about that. That's today's devotional deep dive. And I'm praying that you all get this week started off in a really fantastic, fantastic way. Happy Monday, folks, and I will see you in the Facebook group later today.